Ellenton, it wasn't a big town now. It had a street going this way and one going that way. You could walk from, a couple of minutes from one end to another.
It's very small, tight, neat. Everybody knew everybody.
Although we lived next door to the whites, a bus would take them, pick them up every morning and take them into Old Ellenton. They didn't pick us up, so we had to go to the colored school. So at that particular time, and of course, they all went to the school in Ellenton, which was a much better school. And if you read a lot of history now, you will find that they don't really mention that school as they would the white school in Ellenton.
Because we were living by the whites, we would notice that their books would be passed on to us.
Books were all hand-me-downs that had been used probably at the white schools.
They'll keep them, say, 3 years, and then they were passed to the blacks. When we went to the movie, only the string or cord was between the blacks and the whites. You walked at the same door, but you took different directions.
White would have one section to sit in and the black have another one. Same thing for the doctor's offices.
At the Aiken Hospital up there, blacks couldn't go no further in the basement. And if you were too light, then they might put you in the wrong room and you come side. It had to happen too. You just put you in the wrong room. A third of the population there, the black, was living on quarters. They call it.
When you say quarters, this is a term from slavery.
Yeah, that's it. There you go. That's it. That's it. They would call them the quarters.
There's a lot of blacks was working in the homes of the whites, and they had heard a rumor that something was coming. They didn't know what it was, but that they were going to take over the town.
It was not really or announced to blacks, say, to the colored doing there that time. It was like hearsay. It wasn't a town hall meeting that I could remember that this is what's going to happen. It was nothing of that sort. Even the selling of the land, to actually know, say, okay, no, it was like by word of mouth from the white men. I think they did finally put it in the paper.
That's when they announced that the federal government was taking over 350,000 acres.
And they called it the bomb plant. That was the first name.
Well, when they said move out, first question was, where are we going?
The government did not say, okay, there's some locations you need to look into, whether you want to move there or whatever. It was just left upon the individual and if you own the quarters.
Very few of us owned our own homes. We was either renting or living on the white man's place and working for him, and the rent was to work for him to live in the house. So a whole lot of us, when time come to go, we didn't know where to go.
My dad and mom, basically they never discussed business around us. So the feeling, I don't know whether they didn't want us to feel bad or what, but it was like, okay, we're gonna find a place to stay. Yes, because my dad was one, like, he knew business and he wasn't afraid.
It was somber and sadness. The one that wasn't moving their houses out, they were demolishing them. As for the white people, it was a disaster to an extent. To me, it was a blessing. And a whole lot of others like me. We never realized we could stand on our own 2 feet. In other words, everything had to go through the white man. And at that time, everywhere was segregated, and we just about had to. I'd work 2 weeks, and my pay envelope, $18 for 2 weeks. Well, when we heard about the government was going to build a bomb plant, and industry, was going to be booming, and they said they're going to be paying $1 an hour. That is unheard of.
They were paid well, I'll put it that way, because of the chemicals and everything that they were working with. So they were paid well.
Without the bum plant coming, as a matter of fact, it's a blessing to Aiken County. For some, it was a hard blow. For me, it was a blessing in disguise.